In this video essay, I'll be examining the concept of performative femininity as it pertains to this scene in Anna Lilia Mirpour's A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. But first, what is performative femininity? At the most basic level, it refers to the concept of performativity popularized by gender theorist Judith Butler, or the way in which we as humans need to behave in order to be viewed as men and women, or masculine and feminine.
When we say gender is performed, we usually mean that we've taken on a role, we're acting in some way, and that our acting or our role playing is crucial to the gender that we are and the gender that we present to the world.
In the majority of the world, femininity is associated with changing oneself. It may sound overly critical at first, but through a few examples, this concept becomes much clearer. When you think of what is typically considered a feminine man, what comes to mind? Most would say a man who does his makeup, or paints his nails, or removes his body hair. On the other hand, what comes to mind for a typically masculine woman? The opposite. Short, unpainted nails, no makeup, and natural body hair. In nearly every culture, femininity is associated with changing one's appearance rather than just existing as a feminine person. Being Iranian American, Anna Lilia Mirpour's hyphenated identity indicates that she's seen two sides of the way in which femininity is presented, and has witnessed firsthand the conflicting versions of femininity within and across cultures and borders. This conflict is especially apparent in this scene, which almost exists as its own storyline. While rockabilly appeared in a few other scenes throughout the film, this is the only time they are actually given a part in the overall story. The sequence opens on a black mylar balloon, slowly being lowered so that our main character, Rockabilly, is in frame. The way they look at this balloon gives us, the viewers, the impression that this balloon is something more. I saw the balloon as a dark mirror. From Rockabilly's perspective, the balloon is showing them what others see, so they are face to face with their outward expression of femininity. As likely the most direct statement of theme in this sequence, Rockabilly then proceeds to do a literal performance with this highly processed feminine version of themselves. In another nod to the performative nature of femininity, we then see how they're holding the balloon with just two fingers, something which serves no purpose other than to appear more delicate and feminine, pointing to the contradictory nature of many of the actions that are typically considered feminine. When it first begins, Rockabilly's performance with their feminine presentation is very rigid, as if they're trying very hard to make every step in this dance exactly as they were taught they should. As the performance continues, it becomes less and less structured, and emotion begins to take over. Rockabilly is no longer as concerned with doing this performance correctly. They now prioritize their emotions over their outward presentation, or whether the performance is being done in a way that society has deemed acceptable. While this scene may appear random and out of place at first glance, it contributes to the film's overall themes of non-traditional feminine expressions of power, and uses Amirpour's transnational perspective to comment on the persistence of femininity's performative nature, regardless of the difference in its expression around the world.